Welcome, good morning to you, viewers at home. This is Monday morning on SuperDawn. This is a new week and it's a business week. I like saying this every morning, every Monday morning. It's a business week. Mondays are usually a bit busy. People are ready for the week and everybody's leaving home very early to meet up appointments. To go to work early, to do other things early on Monday. For us here, we're going to make your week a merry one. I'm not alone this morning. I have my crew with me this morning. Blessed Omoni said, good morning to you.
Good morning, Vera. It's a great pleasure to be on the SuperDawn this morning.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You joining the team. It's a pleasure having you here this morning.
I really feel it.
And Anthony, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Vera. How are you?
Beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Yes, beautiful weekend. As beautiful as you are.
Oh, thank you.
As always.
Well, this morning we're going to be doing loads of things for you. First, we want to look at insecurity, matters arising. Well, if you talk about insecurity for the past 5 years, I don't want to go further down, you could realize that things had gone really bad. The federal government has spent nothing less than 5 trillion, if not more than that, for security. And this administration is calling for more monies for the defense, and that's security. Not only this administration, various state governors also earmarked some monies for security. And even individual, the citizens are also getting young men, young women to secure their environment. So it is huge when you talk about monies being spent on security. So we're going to be looking at all of that this morning on this show. We want you to call during that segment and talk more. Away from security, don't forget that we also have our newspaper review. We usually review the papers, and we'll do that this morning. And of course, we have the sports segment. In the sports segment today, I'm sure they're going to talk about the Falcons. Oh, 8-0. How can they give us 8 Falcons that I thought would make us smile at least this Monday morning? But it happened. It happened that they were beating 8-0. That wasn't a good outing for the Falcons. And we also have the Man City 2 and Man United, well, 3. If you watch the first half of that match, oh my God, it was a game. It was a football match. But the sports segment, guys, we'll talk more on that. So it's promising to be a great morning this morning. Once again, good morning to you. We'll go on this break. When we come back, SuperDawn newspaper review will continue. Please stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and we have the Nation newspaper this morning. This one says here 446.7 billion foreign reserve keep Nigeria stable. The Nigeria remains stable at official and parallel markets, with the foreign exchange forex reserve standing at $46.7 billion exchange rate. A report of Exotic Capital, an investment and research firm, has said. Thank you. That has keep us at least keep us.
I never thought Forex did that good. I've had lots of people complain that they invested that much. They invested thousands of money into that, and it just went down the drain. Sort of like these other schemes that we've had. But I guess it's this is a good news. This is a good
with
news.
The foreign exchange forex is what I'm talking about, the reserve. Yes, it's the reserve. We talk about the foreign exchange reserve. We also have here in the papers, Wike, they plan to give me Alamesia's treatment. The Rivers State Governor Wike yesterday claimed to have uncovered a plot by federal government to plant illegal item on him outside the country. The plan, he alleged, is to implicate him so that he would be squeezed by foreign security agency. But that plan, according to him, was uncovered. Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's if it's taken to court, it's about what you can prove or what you cannot prove.
But not only taken to court, my dear. It's not just taken to court. The image that will create. He's saying that is their plot. So that outside foreigners will pick him up. Outside security will pick him up. That's going to be a debasement on his character, on his person. And he doesn't want to be, he doesn't want to have such a density. Yes, blessed.
Yes, you're right, Vera. And if Wike is coming out to say this, it shows that he has his information on ground. And he can't just come outside and just say what it's not, you understand. But I just hope they just sort it out.
It was an alleged. He was just saying, we cannot trust people like this. Yeah, but that's what he said. We also have in the papers this morning, APC. He said, Oyegun surrenders. And the writer says, NWC to meet on Congress's convention before NEC. Opponents of tenor allegation have carried the day in All Progressive Congress APC. Its national chairman, Chief John Oyegun, last night bowed to pressure from governors and party leaders to forego tenor extension. He had summoned an emergency meeting of the National Working Committee for 8 a.m. today to draw the timetable for the State Congress and National Convention. He's bowed to pressure. Chairman.
Okay, let's put it this way. I think it's right now it's a thing that has to do with the people that have more power, you know, are against your will, and at this point in time he has no choice. I actually thought about it. I had always thought about it, like depression and everything being on one person. It's even going to look like he's craving for power if he decides to fight, because at the end of the day, come on, it's just one tenure than the next. So
it's good to step down. It's really good to step down, because stepping down will help the party in the forthcoming 2019 election. And if he doesn't step down, you know, the party is going to be in crisis, and that will be a big blow on them against their opponent for the forthcoming 2019
Okay, but
election.
I'm going to read what someone says here. Part of them says, they were surprised that this came out from Oyegun, because remember, he doesn't give a hook about whatever you feel. But it's as though tension is on him and he has no option. Someone says, some of us were amazed when we got the text message. This was the same Oyegun who did not allow us access to the report of Governor Simeon Lalong Committee, which was set up by the NWC. We had the whole weekend. We did not call for any meeting. Now, he wants to hold a preemptive meeting. We will go there and listen to what he has got in stock for us. They were surprised that he's calling for a meeting. He's a man that does not care, you know. But right now, things are happening in the party.
Things are really happening.
Okay, we have this. It says Nigeria's long road to stability. These measures adopted by the Central Bank of Nigeria to curb foreign exchange forex volatility have stabled the naira. And this was taken from Collins Iwezi write-ups. You can get hold of the papers to read more. Also from the federal government, it says here, another looters lead soon. And the writer says, we have evidence to take to court. Another list of those who looted the country's resources will be released very soon, the federal government said yesterday. Besides, the government said it will not be intimidated or frightened by the lawsuits and threats of going to court by those who were listed on the 2 lists already released. These were looters' lists.
Alleged.
Yeah, but
the allegations.
I don't know. From the federal government, yes. What's your take? Blessed.
You know, you know the way things have been done in Nigeria here, we get to see those names here. But the fact still remains that it's not just about the names being published. Can we actually recover those funds that were stolen?
That's one thing. That's one thing.
You can publish as many names as you can, but what are the steps? What are the machineries? What are the things being put in place to ensure that while publishing those names, the monies are being recovered as well? Because we really need the money to stabilize our economy here.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because we need all that funds. But like I said earlier on, it's an allegation. I'm not being on any side, but to an extent, I think it's only right that the EFCC and other agencies look into this, go back in time, audit, bring facts out that these looters actually looted some sort of funds.
Yeah, but that some of these cases already in court. So you begin to wonder, a case that has not been confirmed, someone that has not been confirmed guilty or not, and you still put that same case on that list. So there are lots of issues surrounding the list, the looters list, and let's see the third one. Maybe we'll get some magic in that one. We also have in the papers this morning, perpetrators of a robbery attack won't go unpunished, says federal government. And the writer says IG deploys special forces in Kwara, Taraba. 2 suspects led, held, armed, recovered. The federal government has assured the citizens that those behind the Thursday armed robbery attack and killing in Ofa local government area of Kwara State will be arrested and prosecuted. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, gave the assurance yesterday when he visited Kwara State Governor Abdul Tafat Ahmed at the governor's house in Ilorin. Did you hear about the attack?
Definitely, I heard
this
everything.
Was a terrible one. It was a terrible one.
On banks and hit some victims that...
Okay, final story from the Nation. Why Jonathan should be arraigned by Oshomole. President Goodluck Jonathan, former President Goodluck Jonathan, should be docked if the People's Democratic Party insisted that prosecution of suspected looters were selective. The former Edo State Governor, Adam Oshomole, has said. Oshomole noted that Jonathan should be arraigned for approving monies belong to the people and spending it in any way they like.
They definitely should be arraigned. You can't just
I don't know
that
if
money.
that is permissible. I don't know if that's permissive. I don't know if that's what the law says. The law says. I don't know if... I need a legal practitioner to tell us if he should be arraigned or arrested or docked in. I think I need a legal practitioner to do that. Yes, away from the Nation, you have some stories in the Vanguard.
Yes, on the Vanguard this morning, Onyegu Tinubu's soldiers head for showdown. Onyegu Tinubu's soldiers head for showdown, and that is on the front page of the Vanguard this morning. And taking the story, leading officers of the All Progressive Congress, APC, last night warned of their consequences on today's National Executive Committee, that's the NEC meeting, should opponents of the outgoing national chairman, Chief John Oyegu, stop him from seeking re-election. I don't know what your take on that.
Well, they have 2 parties. They have these working committees. I don't know. We have some people for supporting Tinubu. Tinubu never wanted delegation, okay. But some other people also are behind Oyegu as well. So I think it's both of them, both parties or both groups that are fighting for power. Whose zone will prevail? But it's looking as though Tinubu's zone prevailed because Oyegu is coming down now and he didn't want any allegation anymore.
He is the man of the party, so whatever he says,
Tinubu himself.
All right, now still on the Vanguard this morning, troops rescue 149 persons, kill 3 Boko Haram insurgents in Maiduguri. The Nigerian army said yesterday that its troops rescued 149 persons in the ongoing clearance operation against remnants of Boko Haram insurgents at Yarima Kura community in Sambisa, Azis. Still on the issue of insecurity and our troops fighting hard against Boko Haram in Maiduguri. I'm really disturbed, wondering why Maiduguri has to be the targeted state in the northern region.
Well, it's not just Maiduguri. I think other states have been affected, you know, but it's yes, it's a good development from the army, the fact that they rescued some people and killed a couple.
Yeah, when you talk about Maiduguri, honestly, what comes to mind is just Boko Haram. You look at not only Maiduguri, you know, we have Taraba,
we have other states,
Taraba, that they've been invading all of these states, and you begin to wonder all the monies that is earmarked for security, is it really working? Are we wasting money? Are these guys really ready to drop their hands? But this is a good one where the military, the soldiers are doing what they know how to do best, and we pray that more people will be arrested.
Okay, still on the FG release of another list soon. The Vanguard have that story, and here's the Minister for Information and Communications and Culture, Mr. Lai Mohammed, saying that another list will be released soon, and the list of looters will be released by the federal government. According to him, no amount of intimidation from any side will stop the release of the list. Mohammed said this in Ilorin yesterday in an interview with journalists on his way to Abuja after his condolence visit to the governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed of Kwara State. The looters list, Vera has really touched that on the Punch, and Vanguard still have the same story. FG vowed to arrest those behind Offa killing. This is also coming from the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. And still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, CBN Governor redeploys Nana deploys new DG. And taking that story this morning, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has approved the redeployment of Dr. Onwuku Joseph Nana from the Financial System Stability, FSS, Directorate to the Economic Policy Directorate. Before his redeployment, Nana was the Deputy Governor, Financial System Stability, FSS, and the statement confirming the redeployment is coming from the Acting Director, Corporate Communication Department of CBN, and person of Isaac Okoro Afo. And still on the Vanguard, Buhari leaves for UK today to hold talks with British FM Theresa May. Buhari leaves for UK today to hold talks with British PM Theresa May.
Yeah, that's a week before the Commonwealth meeting.
Exactly.
He's leaving today, and a week's time there will be a Commonwealth meeting also. So
much to get on the Vanguard this morning, and then if you want to get the full story, go get a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. And that's all we can take on the Vanguard this morning. So it's over to Anthony to give us what's available on Daily Times this morning.
Daily Trust, actually.
Daily Trust,
okay. I was just glancing through the last story you took here that says Buhari leaves for UK today. President Muhammadu Buhari will leave Abuja today for an official visit to Britain, where he's due to hold discussions on Nigeria-British relations with Prime Minister Mrs. Theresa May prior to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting scheduled for 18th to 20th. Okay, I'll jump to a paragraph where I'm interested in it. He said the president would also meet the chief executive officer of Royal Dutch PLC, Mr. Ben van Boorden, in connection with Shell and other partners plan to invest 15 billion naira in Nigeria's oil industry. These investments ventures will lay the foundation for the next 20 years production and domestic gas supply, bringing with it all the attendant benefits both to the economy and the wider society. So they are investing 15 billion naira into Nigeria's oil industry. First, my question is, will 15 billion naira investment be enough to stabilize the oil and gas sector for 20 years? And I'm thinking about it, though. Yeah, it's a very good thing that they are planning for 20 years. But then what comes to my mind is, what structure of planning and how, I mean, for over the years.
You asked the question first. I think you need to wait. Let's answer that.
Okay.
With 15 billion be enough? We don't know. I don't know those arithmetics. I don't know how they do it. But we need to get to know from the experts if 50 billion. We spend a lot of money. When you hear billions, it doesn't move any Nigerian anymore, you know. We just hear billions, you just hear trillions, you just hear funds and bogus amounts.
Exactly.
And so it doesn't really move us anymore. But the question is, will it be used well? That's the question.
That's the question.
When monies like this is being given, will they use it judiciously?
And I want to have a divergent view to that, Vera. You see, we just keep pumping a lot of funds into the oil and gas sector of the economy, and I'm wondering what are we doing as regard other sectors? The current administration will be talking about diversifying the economy, and then so much attention is given to the oil and gas sector. What happens?
Oh, they also use it. Let's look at food security. They also has talked much, or they've put more money funds into production as well, rice production. You know, they're also doing something. Yeah, I think the government is always doing something, but the question is the funding, is it the same, the way you fund other sectors? Yeah, that's the question.
I mean, agriculture does well for just a little investment. It brings revenue. It's, you know, the economy, the people, we get that benefit. But then when you look at the oil sector, it's a different thing entirely. Okay, Army foils suicide attacks, force bombers to kill themselves. The Nigerian Army troops of 707 Special Forces Battalion under the Operation Lafia Dole yesterday foiled an attack by 2 suicide bombers who were trying to infiltrate the troops' position. The troops, working together with 222 Battalion, had pressured the suicide bombers into detonating their suicide vests, killing themselves. Okay, now this is a good one. Our troops sort of chased these insurgents to an extent. I guess they got to one point where they couldn't go in, they could not run, and they just had to like
surrender.
Not even surrender, just blow themselves up like.
Because suicide bombers, really, what they do is, I think they brainwash their mind, and so they tell them, if you die carrying out all of this kind of assignment, you go to Aladunu, you go to heaven, you know. And so most of them want to take it and die for a cause. A cause that is destructive, a cause that won't even pay their families. And so you see them get kitted for this destructive movement, and they kill themselves. So it is something I think that we need to begin to educate people. And that's why when they put the Aladima Jerry School in the northern part, I saw it in just 2 years ago when I went to Jos. When I saw those schools built by the former administration, I was pleased. I think they need more of those kind of schools, more of university there. Exposure will help a lot of people.
We're in the 21st century, you know, so you can't do away with education. You just can't do away with education.
Yes, we are in the 21st century, and these things are still happening. People are still killing themselves for no reason. I mean, you strap up yourself, you go to wherever they send you to, and you blow yourself up, saying you go to heaven, or your family will be taken care of, or what's that?
Somewhere. Go somewhere.
Unthinkable. It's okay. 4 killed in Wase mining pit collapse. 4 miners died weekend when a mining pit collapsed with 12 local miners in Tonga village of Wase local government area of Plateau State. Daily Trust gathered that the 4 corpses were extracted by 8 of the 12 who initially entered the tunnel with the hope of excavating zinc and lead on Saturday evening. The management committee chairman of Wase local government area, Comrade Hassan Garba, who confirmed the incident, told Daily Trust after he visited the area that members of the State Emergency Management Agency and their federal counterparts had visited the site. Shafi Sambo, an acting councillor in Washe, said Tonga, a village near Gimbi, another mining community, is about 100 kilometers from Wase town, which had witnessed a beehive of mining activities by locals since the tunnels were abandoned by Chinese miners. Sambo explained that the Chinese miners had placed a warning sign in the area notifying locals and others that this tunnel were unstable, but he said the danger sign never deterred many who had made bricks money from the activity. So a mine was abandoned by the Chinese, and they put a sign there saying, listen, it's danger, it's not good to come in here, and people still go in there trying to mine, trying to bring out zinc, lead, and what now happened?
No, lots of people, even when you put beware of dogs, some people will still want to dare it. When you put keep up military zone, some people still want to dare. So no matter the signposts you're putting, I think some people don't even read it. Maybe they are blind to signposts, I don't know. But those signposts are caution posts, you know, trying to tell you, hey, be careful. Some caution posts, you know, but some people will just, you say maybe they just put it to scare us and want to dare themselves.
I mean, when it comes to oil and gas, when it comes to the minings, when it comes to electricity, when it comes to chemicals, any sign you put, you see there, don't come close, danger zone, be cautious. Any sign, I think it's only right that you adhere to it, because these things could lead to death, it could lead to explosions, it could lead to some kind of disease.
Yes.
Okay, lastly on the Daily Trust, we'll take this legislator trains 100 women youth on fishery. A member of the House of Representatives, Alhaji Muta Batari, has sponsored the training of over 100 women and youth on fishery and orchid management. Okay, that's a very good development from the
empowerment, really, basically, especially now the way the country is, lots of people that have enough to spare.
Yes.
They now empower people. A lot of people are regretting not learning the trade. Someone like me, I will have learned and have additional funds right now. But you know, those days, it wasn't really very important. If you say you're not schooling, even when you school, when you're a graduate, say you want to go and learn a trade, people tend to look at you, hey, this person is not serious. But right now, people are making loads of money from just handwork.
Skill acquisition.
I really think that's the best way for us to go for economic empowerment.
Way forward.
Yeah, exactly. So we need more of our legislature doing more of these in their constituency to empower people. And when they are being empowered, the nation itself is also being empowered.
Okay, we'll go on this break. Okay, you wanted to say something?
That was good. You can
okay, we'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll be taking the last paper for this segment. That's the Punch newspaper. Let's go on a break.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. Well, we want to take some stories in the Punch this morning. And it says, Oyegun, APC next set for stormy meeting today. We've taken that in other papers. And the writer is saying, as opposing groups fine-tune strategies. We also have this in page 10 of the Punch. It says, we rescued 54 women, 95 kids, killed 3 insurgents. That's a good one from the Nigerian army. Yes.
True.
I'm excited.
You know, people have been saying lots of things about the Nigerian
I know
army.
they can perform.
You know, say the Nigerian army is doing nothing. But yes, this is something good from.
If you tell them to go ahead, if it's coming from the presidency, trust them. They will go all out there. Okay, we also have this one: homosexuals fight in Lagos after contracting HIV. There were chaos in Ikotu-Egbe area of Lagos State when some homosexuals allegedly fought one another after contracting the human immunodeficiency virus. Well, they gathered that one of them, identified as Ezugo, infected his first lover with the virus. I wanted to say God catch you, but I don't say. Let me hold myself here.
But I thought it was illegal. I mean, homosexuality.
That's why they're going to deal with them. They caught them. They are going to deal with them. Okay, we also have this one we took last week, the foreigner that killed the Nigerian wife and kid. For more investigation from the police says here, injuries found on woman, daughter, allegedly killed by Danish spouse. The Lagos State Police Command says marks of violence were found on the bodies of the late Nigerian singer Zainab Nessin and her daughter Patra. The commandant Sunday said the artist's younger sister had reported to the facility manager of the Besela Star Tower, Banana Island, Lagos, where the family resided, that Zainab was being assaulted by a Danish husband, Peter Nessin. Can you beat that?
Wow, I'm very speechless at this point. But my heart goes to the family.
No, it's terrible because I trust Nigerian police. That man will not go nowhere. He's going to serve his jail time.
Definitely.
You can't do that here in Nigeria. And you think you'll go? No, he's going to serve it. We also have here in the papers, represent Nigeria well in Jerusalem. Lagos tells pilgrims. We also have in the papers this morning, it says, mistakes to avoid when applying for small business loans. There are mistakes. You have to avoid it when you want to apply for a business loan. Okay, I'll just take a few stories and we wrap up this. You need to go and check it out yourself in the Punch this morning. It says here, Facebook to make election ads pages more transparent. Well, I don't know about that, but we also have some banks doing loads of things. What you need to do is get hold of the Punch and go to the information technology segment of the Punch newspaper. This is where we will end this segment of the newspaper review. We will go on this break. When we come back, SuperDawn will continue. Please stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. Well, this segment for today is we're looking at insecurity, matters arising from there. Well, recently, just over the weekend, it was said that Nigerian Army rescued 54 women and kids, about 95 kids, and also killed 3 insurgents. This has been happening for some time now in Nigeria. And we want to look at this insecurity. Last week, the president has said that he's going to give more monies to the defense. And since January, we've been having issues with Boko Haram. We've been having issues with the headers. And we've been having issues with kidnapping, insecurity generally in the country. It's a nation where we have about 350 ethnic groups, and they speak about 250 languages in Nigeria. How can we handle insecurity, especially right now? We have a guest in the studios. We have Adedeji Badejo. He's a media practitioner and also a writer, a former staff of the Nation's newspaper. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. Good morning to you, sir. Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
We're looking at insecurity in Nigeria. This has been happening for some time, and the federal government is not turning blind eyes to what is happening, and they've been trying to help. Government has come and gone, and this is still an issue. What do you think is causing all of this?
Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. We need to tell ourselves some basic truth now, that the security situation in our dear country required more concerted efforts. Government might have been trying or is trying, but the government need to do more. The government need to up its game. The government need to do more of intelligence gathering than the normal physical combat, because it is some of these areas that we'll be able to get exactly what is going on. It is baffling, and it is somehow the spate of insecurity in our country. The herders are there, the kidnappers are there. Just over the weekend, we all heard what happened in Offa, where about 3 or 2 banks were robbed at the same time, and the police were overpowered. And from what we heard, that gory incident went on for close to an hour without no security rescue or remedies at that time. So the government might still be trying, buying more arms, giving approval for more arms as recently. And as the Minister of Defense has said, that the last time that the federal government actually bought any meaningful arm at all was in 1982. So, it's
outdated.
It's outdated. It calls for concern, especially things nowadays. But one area we wish the government to actually pay more attention to is intelligence gathering. That is the essence of the whole security.
Intelligence gathering. So is it that we need more equipment and more arms, or we actually need more manpower? Because when you look at the situation of the robbery that happened at Offa, while everything was going down, the security agencies were overpowered.
Yes.
That means they were outnumbered.
Yes.
So is it that we actually need these arms, or we need people, we need more soldiers, we need more policemen, we need more security agencies?
Well, I can say it's an amalgamation of both or all. We need more arm. Taking into cognizance what a government minister has said, that the last time they ever bought any meaningful equipment was in 1982, which is somehow in this country. Then we need more personnel, more well-trained personnel that are supposed to be in charge of our security. But the bottom line of the whole thing is that if we have more intelligence gathering, if we build self-confidence, if we build confidence in our people, people will hear anything or they can snap anything and then they can go to security. Some of these issues will be nipped in the bud before it happened. You understand? So these are areas that we need to concentrate on. We need more arms based on the statistic the government gave, which is disgraceful. I don't want to say that. We need more personnel who are to be trained with up-to-date equipment and security architecture. Then we need more intelligence gathering.
Okay, some people have also said, from some quarters, experts have said, we should also look at the economy. When you're talking about security, you need to also look at the economy.
Yeah.
Do Nigeria believe in food security?
Yes.
Do we look at our security, food security, and say, hey, we're going to plan for this year and we have enough food? Are we looking at employment? Are people gainfully employed?
Yes.
Those that are even employed in government parastatals, are they well paid?
Yeah.
All of this, some experts have said that is the cause of where you begin to hear crisis amongst communities. It could be lack of or inability of the government to address all of these issues. Do you agree with them?
Yes. We cannot separate the economy from our security. We cannot separate poverty from our security. For every year, our universities and polytechnics are churning out graduates, and these guys are still there. Millions virtually every year, and less than maybe 100,000 got something to do. They are there, idling away, doing what they like, you understand? And then the man on the street is not sure of where the breakfast is coming from, not to talk of lunch or dinner, you understand? These are things that the government has to look at holistically. The economy, that is the economy of the people itself, how people will be able to do something for themselves so that they can be proud of what they are doing, being able to cater for themselves, and then the security garment in the whole essence. But we cannot totally remove economy from our security system. In the area of economy, though, we are not talking about that today, we are talking about security. But government need to do more. People who are working, are they being paid?
Okay, but you also said something that we should have asked before this one. You talked about not having enough police.
Yeah.
Not having enough equipment. We've seen where government has brought out every year what they spend for security. And in that offer case, let's look at what happened, that incident, back to back. At the same time, banks were robbed, and for hours we were told there wasn't rescue because the police people there were incapacitated. They couldn't handle what was happening at that time in Kwara State. Looking at all of this happening, do you also believe that we should look at state policing? Will that help?
Well, we may not be able to run away from state policing. Taking into cognizance our ensemble in this country. You made mention of some of those statistics before the commencement of this program, about 250 languages.
Yeah, we have about that in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, and then before a commissioner of police in a state will take a step, he has to clear with Abuja. You understand? We can't move forward in this way.
But do we have enough funds? Because when you say state policing, it's a brilliant idea. But states that cannot even pay workers' salaries, will they have that fund to buy equipment? Because when you are talking about state policing, you're going to give them tools to work with.
Exactly.
Do they have enough funds to?
Well, in the present situation, I except some few states, which you and I knew by heart, that can fund state policing comfortably and confidently. The rest are still in between. But maybe we need to look at the whole of our federalism, the whole thing we call federalism, you understand? I don't want to join the bandwagon of saying, let us go to true federalism. We all knew what it means. We might not be there during the First Republic, but we met a lot of literatures that talk about state police, even local government police during the First Republic, you understand? There was a way that was being founded, you understand? Maybe we need to look at the whole thing altogether. Federal government, we need to shed some of its powers. so that those areas where they are taking money can be devolved to the states, to the local government. If we continue in this system, the idea of state policing or state police or community policing will continue to be like a cliche,
a mirage,
and it will never work.
Okay, coming to politics and insecurity, security matters. The PDP alleged the APC that the insurgents, specifically the Dapchi schoolgirls' adoption, that it was actually staged for them to score points. What that means is they are saying the APC administration planned all of this to score points in this tenure. Now, when you look at politics and insecurity, do you think these things, these insurgents, knowing full well that we can actually nab them, but they haven't been able to be nabbed, do you think it's actually politics related?
Well, we cannot separate politics from the present issue of Boko Haram, if you permit me to mention it. The Dapchi is quite unfortunate that human lives got involved in the politics of our land. You understand? But if you look at the whole issue as Dapchi, it might not be tidy enough for one to believe the whole adoption, during the adoption, and then the release. You understand? It might not be tidy enough, but I really don't want to believe that the government will plan it for anything, honestly. I really
okay, the government itself, but what about people, politicians that crave for power or crave to tarnish someone's or somebody's some tenuous image, as the case may be, or the fact that yes, there was a negotiation.
Yeah.
Could it be that somebody's behind some kind of intent to extract money from the government?
We cannot overlook that. We cannot overlook that. But everything still boils down to the fact that the government is not alive to its responsibility. And as enshrined in our constitution, one of the aim of government is provision of security of life and property.
So you are saying that this administration is not doing its duty?
They are not doing enough. They are not doing
what else
enough.
do you want them to do?
They are not doing enough.
Let's see what else, what they've done, and what you think they're not. Why do you think they're not doing enough?
Yeah, well, the Boko Haram insurgency pre-2015. I mean, we already in the paper they control some local governments. I am not speaking for government, but I will only say the truth. So you understand. But now they're actually nothing. Majorly, the Boko Haram insurgency are now doing what we call a soft target attack. You understand? Suicide bombing, attacking a monthly situation. You understand? But the government cannot claim totally or holistically that they have decapitated the Boko Haram insurgency.
But they said they did.
Well, that is some of the issue that we need to talk about. That is the politics of security management, which is unfortunate. They have not totally rooted those guys. Those guys are still posing a lot of security threat to us. You understand? But the government, be that as it may, whatever government might score itself, we are citizens. We need to tell government the truth.
Don't we have a rule? Over the weekend, was it on Friday? Maybe tomorrow we can bring that interview. I interviewed one of the Obas in Lagos State, and one thing he mentioned that was critical for me is saying that the government no longer use them like those days. Before now, the Obas knows who enters his community, who doesn't, and all of that. But he is saying here that if government works with them, it might help out better than what they are doing right now. But looking at all of this not working because the Boko Haram activities escalately is steadying a bit in Nigeria.
A bit.
That's it. It's steadying a bit in Nigeria. But looking at it, what do you think we need to do now? Well, it's very important.
Well,
as an individual, not even government.
Yes.
As a community leader, as a citizen, what can we do from our own end as well? Well,
for everybody, for every Nigerian citizen, we need to be security conscious. We knew ourselves within the community. Within the community. It is unfortunate that our situation has gotten to this stage. While we are growing up, if there is any new face on the streets, even the kid will tell his parents, I saw somebody I've not seen before. And then maybe they will take it off from there. Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you here? You understand? But it's unfortunate we no longer care for ourselves in this country. So first and foremost, the citizen need to be security conscious. If you see an unknown face within your community, the best thing is to approach the security agency. That is one. Two, the security agent themselves have to be up and doing. They have to look at the citizen as partners in progress. Not partners, not somebody to be exploited. Not that when you go to police, you report to the police, at the end of the day, you will be the one that they want to hold down. You understand? That you have to point to them where you saw this, where you see this, so you understand. That's what. Then, on the issue of the government has to involve more stakeholders. Like what you said about the traditional rulers. I see no reason why the government cannot work with the traditional rulers or community leaders. They knew themselves. They know their people. You understand? So more stakeholders need to be involved, from traditional rulers, community leaders, opinion leaders, religious leaders. It has to be all encompassing, because security do not have any affiliation, or security do not have any face. Look at the herders now. It affects both Muslim and Christians. Yes. You understand? Even if you are not doing any of the two, it's affecting you. You understand? So government need to create more platform for people. More stakeholders need to be brought in, so that at the end of the day we can achieve a meaningful result. Because security is not for just one person. Security is for all of us.
Yeah, security is for everyone. And let's review the security agency, specifically the police. The IGP of police was relocated by the president to Benue State. And after a while, the president got there and found out that he wasn't there for the time being. He was only there for 24 hours. My question is this. Let's look at the Nigerian police. We know they say from the head, if the head is bad.
Exactly.
First thing, I want you to review the Nigerian police, starting from the IGP, flouting the instructions of the president.
To be candid, and these are some of the problems, these are some of the blights, these are some of the attacks that will continue to be against this government. The president, commander-in-chief, directed you to proceed to a place, to relocate to the place and curb the security situation there. You are only there for less than 24 hours. If you have a serious government, the IGP is not supposed to be there as of today. If you have a very serious government. And these are some of the indiscipline that boils down from the top echelon of the police down to the bottom. If a whole IGP can disobey his commander-in-chief, then you can as well look at it.
But we didn't hear him. We didn't hear him defend that. We just heard what the president said.
But there is no defense.
He didn't. No, not even defense. He didn't say, "Hey, this wasn't the instruction," or "This was the instruction." Up to date, we've not have a vivid explanation from him. So do you just conclude with what the president has said without hearing? You're a journalist.
Yes. No. Looking at the police. Looking at the police itself, you will know that the police have risks of indiscipline. I mean, the present police public relations officer was on television and he called a governor, a sitting governor, a drowning man, and that man is still holding that post till date. You know. So the Nigerian police reeks of indiscipline.
Some of them.
Not some of them.
Maybe some.
From the IGP,
maybe we should use some
of the president.
I've met good policemen.
No,
because
the same thing with me.
I've met some good ones.
No, the same thing with me.
They hold high positions,
exactly.
but they are disciplined.
Exactly.
So maybe it's just some of them, and this is a major problem. It's a challenge.
Some of them, unfortunately, are the majority.
This is a challenge,
exactly.
Isn't it?
It's a challenge to the government itself. It's a challenge to the police itself. You understand? But if an IGP can brazenly, right on our nose, disobey his commander-in-chief, I believe that man should not be in that position.
So what should the president be doing? But first,
okay,
what do you think? What do you have to say about the president by knowing fully well that he came out to say he was not aware.
Yeah.
I mean, as the president, I feel you should be, you should do follow-ups. You should be aware of what happens in your country, knowing fully well that your first priority is the security of
the people.
The people.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about the president?
Well,
and what's answer that question.
Well, if you look at the structure of Nigerian presidency, that does not actually exclude the president from the blame itself. A number of people were killed in Benue before that order was given. If you give that order, a president is supposed to follow it up. For that alone, I am blaming the president too. Because we have to follow up your order. Mr. IG, proceed to Benue State. I expect the president by night of that day to either call the IGP, Mr. IGP, where are you? What is the security situation? What is your status? What is the situation report? You understand? If he's not going to do that because of state matters, you understand? He has to detail somebody to make that call, and then they will need to tell him, they need to give him an update of whatever happened the following day. You understand? But that the president itself is not up and doing on this. The president is also culpable. The president itself can also be blamed. And I want to say this with all sense of decency, that for even criticizing President Muhammadu Buhari is because Nigerians like him.
Okay, are we criticizing him, or we are critic? We are looking at some of these things.
Some of his actions, exactly.
Some of this action, not just really criticizing.
No.
And when he's wrong, and when he's right, he's right. But looking at what we're discussing right now, we're looking at the security. We're looking at lives.
Okay.
And looking at insecurity in Nigeria, it's a burden.
Yeah.
Right. And so we want to look, even from our end as media practitioners, what can we also bring in the table? What should we be doing at this time?
Well, I think enough what I would call leeway could be given to the Nigerian media practitioner or the Nigerian media generally, you understand. More information about security situation, in which an average editor will have his own prejudices in knowing how to use it to help the citizen.
I'm not being afraid of NBC or something.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid that, hey,
if I use it, will I disappear?
They might just come and shut down my station. Okay.
That is one of those ways that the government knowing full well that the media has the mouthpiece. If you are not watching television, you will read newspaper. Even the so-called new social media now, news and information are being uploaded, you understand? So if you are not reading newspaper, if you are not watching television, at least you will be on social media, any one of them, you understand? So the government will need to partner more with Nigerian media. And the Nigerian media will also need to be more outward in the way they report things. Not reporting things to create aggravated issues, you understand? Reporting things in a way to point to a direction for the government, you understand? A very case in point is this others.
Okay.
I don't want to mention a particular this others issue. I believe the government, unfortunately, is not doing enough. Whatever be the reason for government need to step up its action on that issue. That is another issue
that we need to
focus on, that is threatening the unity of this country. Because they are everywhere. They've got into Edo State. They've got into Delta State. And Edo State is here. Sooner than later, you heard they are in Ogun State.
But the president, this administration said they're going to deal with, we begin to see report. They said that they're going to deal with the headers. And do you think they have the capability, they have good hands to deal with these people?
Well,
because I said, you remember I said that the Boko Haram, they're escalating speedily and steadily. So do you think we can really stop these people? Well, with the way we are handling things.
Well, with the way we are handling things, it's unfortunate. We may not be able to stop the whole thing with the way we are handling things. So the government need to step up. The government need to step up its action. The government need to step up its position. You understand? The government need to step up the way they are doing things. You understand? So that everybody will be on the same page. Everybody will be on the same page. You understand? People cannot be killed and wanton destruction of life and property anyhow. You wake up in the morning, you see family of 5 killed. A traditional ruler and his wife killed. In Taraba, in Jomi, you know, I don't know what they are telling the president, and I don't know what the president himself is thinking. But this is an issue that requires, if deploying more of Nigerian armed forces to join the fray. I mean, the Nigerian Army, the Naval, the Air Force, let them join the fray so that we can curb the whole thing. You understand? We don't need to see casualties before we begin to act.
Okay, and as regards this, T.Y. Danjuma made a statement in Taraba, and he urged Nigerians that we should protect ourselves. And he said, and I quote, if you wait for the Nigerian army to secure you, you are going to die one by one. Okay, looking at this, what do you have to say about this? Do you think this is sending the wrong message? Because I spoke to someone, and he was telling me something like, okay, I think I'm going to get a gun or something. You know, no, what do you think is the message? What is the real message?
I want to cite an example for you. When the issue of the cult issue in Ikorodu was happening, I have a friend.
The
Bado Boys. Thank you.
That's the Bado Boys.
Exactly. I have a friend who told me that on their street they were told to get a cutlass and keep under their bed. I said, so when they call, what do you want to do with the cutlass? He said, well, attack is any form of defense. You understand? But you know, it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that it will get to this. You understand? It's unfortunate to get to this. If a system is not justifiable or justiciable, then people will resort to self-help. General Danjuma has spoken very well. I will not condemn him. What the government need to look into, that man made a very valid accusation that the Nigerian army are colluding. The man mentioned it more than 3 times. They collude. And if you look at the whole scenario, you might not be able to separate the truth from the false. Because it's like these people will just kill one, and then they will go away like that. Nobody will be arrested. Nobody will be prosecuted. Who is helping them to move away?
And that brings us to a question that says, he said it's an ethnic cleansing.
Well, the ethnic cleansing is something I may not be able to support, because you know it's actually happening everywhere in Nigeria.
It's not just
it's not exactly
area.
It's not only, maybe it's only concentrated in some areas because of the agrarian life. You understand? People like Benue, Taraba, you know, majority.
Well, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in those states, in Delta states. But looking at all of these happenings around us right now, and looking at what the president is saying, concentrating on the defense, do you think our defense minister can handle this? Can we really handle these people? I asked you, but you're not able to. You're not explicit.
Yes.
Can we handle these people?
We need to step up our action to be able to handle them. If we continue in this way, we will not be able to.
What other ways do you think we can continue?
Fine, thank you. More political will. I am not seeing it here. More political will from the highest office in the land, and that is the president. I am not seeing it here at all. What
are you expecting the president to do? What do you expect him to do?
I am expecting a proactive president. I mean, giving an order to either IGP or army commander or whatever.
Shoot at sight.
Exactly. Anywhere I heard that headersman or whatever kill somebody, anybody or any officer, any whatever controlling that side will be removed and be brought to book. They will tighten up their belts, because they will know that the president meant what he's saying. And then there is nothing wrong in giving another direct that, okay, any headsman that you could see with an AK-47 shoot aside.
So, but they have some headers that are innocent. Are you not going to be cleaning innocent people?
No. That's what I said. if an herdsman, if you see an herdsman with an AK-47, don't wait for him to act before you attack him.
But we also have Mieti Allah. These are the groups of headers, and they've been talking strong.
That is the unfortunate.
What are we supposed to do with those people?
Exactly, that is the unfortunate scenario of our system, which is baffling. Which why I said the president need more political will to take an action. I don't want to view it as an ethnic situation, which would be unfortunate for us in this country, you understand. But you know, the government, the Mieti Allah are supposed to be held responsible with the way and manner they are speaking. Even a defense minister, I don't know what that man is still doing there based on that statement he has uttered. That is because the state government are implementing anti-grazing law and that's why they are killing people. A defense minister for Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the government, the president need more political will. These are people that are causing much problem than solution, more damage than solution. The defense minister, you remove him.
Are you seeing more destruction as ahead 2019 elections? Are you seeing more harm from these people?
That is one of those things we need to look at. Any election, we are about 10 months to election now. And then I won't be surprised if more of this is happening. You understand? Because, you know, the politician will be returning to their base now. You understand? And they will want to be asserting their authority. There will be people around them. If you are for him, if you are against him, if you are for him, you either for him. If you are against him, maybe you likely need to be attacked. You understand? Some of those insecurity will still be stepping up. You understand? But it's unfortunate the government is not doing enough today.
Okay. As regards the herdsmen and the attacks, we've had controversies over whether or not they should be declared as terrorists, you know, but the president said he would not declare them terrorists because, one, not all herders are killers, not all herders are Fulani, not all Fulanis are herders, not all, you know, so it's actually a tribe. He said it's a tribe, and you cannot just declare a whole tribe as terrorists. That's like killing a whole food, you understand? So looking at this, if they were declared terrorists, it would have been a very good development, because other countries will come support, you know, anywhere they are spotted around any other country, they will be dealt with. So how do we curb this?
If the president is afraid of declaring them a terrorist, then the president should step up his action against them. By statistics, the statistics of what we have, which everybody is aware, they are the fourth largest killing group in the world now.
Yes.
Fourth. It's not a tea party. It's not a tea party. And if you have been looking at the trend, 78 people killed, 200 killed, over whatever, including even the chief of naval staff, his farm in Ilorin along that the Shayoko was destroyed.
So how does that spot the Fulani headers? Because not all headers are Fulani.
No. The problem here, why they started mentioning Fulani, why I said I would not want to mention Fulani,
their headers.
Because, you know, their major preoccupation happens to be herding. You understand? They breed cows and everything. So everybody seems to have an idea that, if you are buying cow, if you are doing cow business, you must either be a Fulani man. You understand? But we all knew today that it's not only Fulanis, even our own Yorubas and everybody are doing cow business. But you look at how they are doing their own cow business and how the Fulanis are doing cow business. Well, I can mention, I don't want to mention the name of a man, a Yoruba man, who has close to about 1,000 cows. But they are in a place. They don't even move out.
So allowing them to graze in your own private land, because that's what caused the issue.
Exactly.
You know, and the government is saying just allow them.
Just allow them. Is that possible? Is that done?
Is that not possible?
That is not possible.
We must wrap up this edition right possible. Now.
So the government,
final word from you. I want you to talk to the government and also to Nigerians.
Well, for Nigerians, I will not suggest self-defense, because at the end of the day we will have an anomaly that we will not be able to control. You understand? And in doing self-defense, we might take it more more than what we thought, you understand? And we'll create a banana island that
we don't want that. We don't want war.
We don't want war.
We don't want war. But for individuals, for people to live, to coexist.
To coexist,
yes.
Yes. Yeah, you understand. But for government, the government need to step up its action on security. The government need to do more on security. Buying arms is not only solution to security. Training good personnel, and the most important of all is intelligence gathering, so that you know, if you see anybody you don't know before, it behoves you as a citizen to approach the security agency, and it is the responsibility of the security agency to look into it, not to take you as the other way. That is my candid advice to the people and to the government. Okay,
I'm going to be asking you some questions. Some questions came in from South Africa, and that's Kingsley from South Africa asking some questions here. It says here, we're still operating security from the past. It says here, on the release of the $1 billion, we talked about it, $1 billion for security. He said it's highly political. Do you agree with him? The $1 billion for security by the president.
Well, it is unfortunate that we are in an election period. You understand? So any money coming out of government now might be viewed as for the one for 2019 election. And taking into cognizance our past experience from the last government, where such an amount was also released. Something has been flying on social media that such an amount was released prior to an election, and we all know where you went. But we still want to give this government a benefit of the doubt. Okay. That they meant business.
Okay, I'm going to read what he says here while we were on. Someone calling, sending this chat from South Africa, Kingsley from South Africa. He talked about we don't need arms to fight insurgents. And maybe I'll ask you, he said, what we need is crime prevention through social development. Yeah. He also said great jobs and pay people. Get more intelligence from communities by engaging them. I think that's what we talked about. Engaging the community leaders.
Yes, from the traditional rulers to opinion leaders of the community to even CDAs. I mean, things are more spelled out in Lagos now. We have the Community Development Association, we have the Bales, we have the Hobas, we have opinion leaders, we have community leaders, people that can actually talk to people within the community, and they will be listening to people.
And they can even attend their town hall meetings. Exactly. This can be done through the town hall meetings, where everybody is part of what is happening.
My take on the town hall meeting is I really don't know if they're actually doing what they meant for in town hall. If not that a government will come in and reel out their achievements and they want you to talk about that, you understand?
Okay, he is saying something here I want us to quickly talk about as we wrap up. It's very important. Quota system should be abolished from our country. Do you believe what he said? Why?
Yes. Everybody is developing now. Everybody is developing now. We are having the genesis of quota system was because the South are more educated than the North. But it might still tilt in the favor of the South presently. But the North are not looking away. They have been educated. It's not the same North that are producing those people we are seeing, those brilliant chaps like Nasir Rufai, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and just to name a few, Saminu Turaki and what have you. Are those not the North? Are those not the Northern products?
So we should abolish quota system, because when it comes to job placement, I don't think they do quota system with job placement, do they?
I don't think
Are they going to be asking you when you go for interview?
No, from private sector, I think it's not working in private sector.
It's not working.
But in public sector, it is in the inting. It's an unfortunate scenario.
We don't have much time on our side, but I want to thank Kingsley from South Africa. Thank you for giving us this great points this morning, and I hope tomorrow is another great day that you call us. And before we leave, final word. We have to leave now.
Well, I thank you for this opportunity. Just like I have said, the government need to up its game. The government need to do more for security, particularly intelligence gathering. We cannot remove the economic situation from our security architecture. The government need to do more on the economic side. People need to be gainfully employed. Poverty has to be reduced to the BRS minimum. And security agencies, we need to look at people as partners in progress, not as enemies to be exploited. You understand? And the citizenship should also make up their mind to always tell the security people what is happening within their locality. With this, we'll be able to achieve what we want for ourselves.
I want to say thank you to Adedidi Badejo. Thank you so much, a media practitioner and a writer. Thank you for coming on this edition of the program. I hope the government has heard us. Maybe something will be over that. Yeah, because security is key.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, viewers at home, this is where we wrap up this segment. Up next is SuperDawn Sport. I know what happened over the weekend. Falcons didn't make it. I don't know what happened. They are good, but 8-0. I don't know what happened there. And also Man City, also with Man United. That match, I saw it, but let me allow Prince Willie Ovation, and that's his segment this morning, to come and talk more on that. We'll go on this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's sports segment. Prince Willie Ovation is here. Prince, good morning to you.
Good morning, Vera.
This is Monday morning.
A splendid one for that matter.
What happened?
I heard you saying it just now. The Super Falcons, well, it's expected in football at times, but you must be prepared for every game.
But this is eight. This is it basketball?
Well, the issue is, I think the coach is still understudying the team. I watched that game. There was a particular player, I'm not going to name her name here. She wasn't too good in the central defense, and you left her for 90 minutes.
For a long time.
And that was the sport.
I saw that as well. But let me allow Prince. We'll continue with the sports segment. We'll be back with Kingsley Ovation.